Guys, am I audible now? Okay, you still can't hear. We are trying to sort it out, guys. Hold on for a moment.
I just sort it out, okay? Just hold on.
Yeah, you can just blank me out then for the time being.
Yeah, one second.
Okay, guys, am I audible now? Mohammed, Ashish, Tilak, can you please confirm? Okay, great, guys. Thank you. And you've been a wonderful crowd. Thanks for being patient. Yes, technical glitches happen once in a while. Well, let's continue. So what I was trying to do, what I was saying is we are going to discuss colleges which accept CAT scores above 90 percentile, but we are going to restrict ourselves to non-IIM colleges. Okay, so this session we're going to restrict ourselves to non-IIMs which accept only CAT scores, or rather CAT scores non-IIM colleges but above 90 percentile, because there was already a session done for colleges which accept CAT scores below 90 percentile, right? So I'm going to cover only the above 90 percentile good colleges which the students can apply to. Now let's go ahead and take a look at it, guys. Again, I'm repeating non-IIM. So there was a separate session done already for IIMs, and there was a session done for IIMs, or rather non-IIMs below 90. So right now we are only keeping ourselves, let me write it down, greater than 90 percentile. Okay, and non-IIMs. Right, so this is our session for today. For those of you who are interested in XAT percentiles or SNAP or NMAT, there were separate sessions done, my friends, so that's not going to be covered in today's session. So I hope the expectation is clear, right? Fine, and as usual, before we go ahead, I would like to remind you, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, you click on the like button as well as the notification button, because we have a lot of sessions planned for you guys, especially GDPI related sessions. We will be doing a lot in the coming month, that's February. We have GDPI tips, WAT tips, and so on and so forth. So a lot of things are in store for you. Okay, so I already got a couple of questions. Is it going to be only CAT score specific, or you'll be doing XAT? Mayank, XAT is already covered. It's already been done in one more session. So I'm going to restrict myself only to CAT so that I don't repeat and waste your time, right? Well, guys, let's start with the best college out there, which is, I mean, it's as good as an XLRI or an IIM Lucknow for that matter, in my opinion, which is FMS, Faculty of Management Studies. It's in New Delhi, one of the best colleges in my opinion, especially when you're talking about return on investment. This is one college whose fees you cannot compare with any of the IIMs. The IIMs have the fees in 18 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 23 lakhs. FMS has a fee less than 1 lakh for both the years combined. Okay, so this is one of the best colleges, and the average package happens to be around 22 to 23 lakhs, or probably more also this year. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's a damn good college. I would put it at par or on par with an XLRI or probably an IIM Lucknow for sure. So this particular college, the entry process is quite simple. Okay, the entry process is quite simple. They look at the weight, they look at CAT score. This is one of the, for people like me, if there is anybody like me who's writing CAT, this is the college that they need to get into, because my 10th and 12th scores are bad, in fact horrible. My graduation score is pathetic. So all those of you who fit into my category, guys, this is your way out. FMS. It's a college which purely looks at CAT for sure. In fact, it gives, so in its calculation, it looks at 40% weightage for English, it looks at 30% weightage for DILR, and it looks at 30% weightage for your quant. Okay, so this is the breakup in which they consider the scores in your VARC, DILR and quant, and they make a list of students based on this weightage, and in the descending order they call, probably in the ratio of 1:10 if I remember. So if they have about 200 seats, they call about 2,000 students for interviews. Okay, so this is one of the colleges, one of the top-notch colleges which comes under the category of non-IIMs, and the cutoff for this, as you can see, the cutoff for this usually, now I'm talking about the cutoff to get call. Okay, I'll talk about the conversion part also a bit later in a few minutes or in a few seconds. But to get a call, minimum is like this. So general can be 98.6. In fact, 98.6, 98.7 is the bare minimum you need to get a call from FMS. That too. Now remember, who are there are a lot of people at 99.6, 99.7 and even at 99 who will not get. The problem is 40% for VARC. That is the issue. And 30% for DILR and 30% for quant. So those students who get a very high VARC score, very high, and okay scores here, they end up getting a 98.6, but they will get a call. But you might find students who are very good in DILR and quant, but they barely got a 90 percentile in VARC. However, they will overall get a 99 percentile. They might not get a call. Okay, so you need to look at the weightage and its calculations. But to be very honest, realistically speaking, the conversion, guys, if you're looking at conversion at 99.3 or 4, below that conversion is actually a bit difficult. While these students get a call, it's very difficult for them to convert it unless they are the best performers in the interview. In fact, if you are in the top 3-4 performers in the interview, then a person with such a low score technically could end up getting a call, the final convert also. But realistically speaking, in my experience, we have seen that at 99.3, 99.4, you end up getting a call. In fact, somebody at a 99.5 or something like this, and I'm being very honest, you go there, you talk normally, you don't have to impress them. You go there, you talk normally, and be an average performer in interview, you'll still get the call at this level. Okay, and the minimum as I said happens to be 99.3 is where you end up getting a convert. Various other categories and their values are also mentioned over here. So we're going to look at EWS category. Now again, as you can see, I have put all the 5 categories here because I was able to get all the 5 scores. However, you will see that this is not true for all the other institutes, because there are some institutes in which I don't have the data for EWS, so that information might be missing. So if something is missing, it means that I was not able to confirm. I didn't want to randomly put any number. So whatever numbers I'm putting over here, at least I have some kind of a confidence that these numbers are correct. Whatever numbers I did not put, it means that I did not want to randomly guess. I hope you can understand. Okay. Right, so EWS will be around 93 to 95 percentile, NCOBC will be around 90 plus percentile, SC and ST categories will be at 80 and 70 plus percentile. So that's about your FMS, one of the top-notch colleges outside the IIMs. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next best institute. In fact, let's not call it as the next best. There are a group of 2-3 institutions which, in my opinion, come together. One of them happens to be SP Jain, which is SP Jain Institute of Management and Research. SPJIMR is the short form of it. This institute actually has, it does not take only the CAT score. It has something called as CAT plus profile. Okay, CAT plus profile score. Okay, now the importance of profile is quite high here. Now it's a private institution, so they don't have to disclose what they look at in a profile, right? But in my opinion, profile is 10th score, 12th score, your graduation, your academics, academic diversity, okay, male or female, and basically work-ex. Okay, so these are the things that broadly categorize as a profile. Now we don't have much of information about how much weightage is given to each one of these categories. However, we have noticed, and this is a fact, that if your profile is bad, like again I use my example, like my profile, 80% in 10th, 80% in, or 85-86% in 12th, 65% in graduation. I was lucky, I got out at a time, or rather I got into the colleges at a time where the profile was not considered. But today, somebody with this kind of a profile, even at a 99.5, you will not get a call, guys, in SP Jain. But if you have a good profile, you can get a call even at a 98 percentile. Okay, but even with a good profile, less than 98 percentile is very difficult. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Please keep this in mind. 98, when I say, it is like an excellent profile that you have, and the vice versa, very good CAT score, a 99.5, but a bad profile may not give you a call. Okay, I'm just checking if there are any chats. Okay, there are no questions. All right, so that's fine. Let's go ahead. So in SP Jain, profile plays a very, very important role. A small thing about SP Jain conducts something called as group interviews. Okay, so the admission process is not a one-on-one interview, it's a group interview. So those of you who already got the calls, or SPJN calls are out, make sure that you prepare for group interview. It is way different than a one-on-one interview. So please don't substitute a mock interview for one-on-one for a SPJN, what do you call, practice. It will not work. Your SPJN is actually different. It has to be done in that particular way only. So please make sure that you are getting the proper SPJN group interview before you go to the actual one, right? So let's go ahead and look at the next good institute, which is MDI, MDI Management Development Institute. It's in Gurgaon. Well, this particular institute, again, there are no reservations in this institute. And the percentile keeps varying a little bit, but normally it is in the range of 96 percentile. And typically we have noticed that women end up getting a call even at a 95 plus percentile. So there is a 1.5 percentile difference between men and women. I think that is the only difference that we are looking at. Usually everything else same. A woman or a girl with about 95, 95.2, 95.3 might end up getting a call, whereas a guy will require 96 point probably 5 or 4 in that range. At least 1 percentile there is a difference. Okay, that's MDI Gurgaon. Again, it's I would call it in the top probably 12, 13 top dozen colleges for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's a very good college. It gives 2 programs, guys. One is their flagship program, and the other is their HRM program. So HRM, the cutoffs go a little bit less. Your HRM cutoffs go up to probably around 93 to 94 percentile. Sometimes it can go a little bit less also if the candidate is a woman. Right? So that's about your Management Development Institute, MDI, one of the good colleges, no doubt. If you get into it, your life is set. In fact, all of these colleges, you get there, I think your next 10 years is set. Right? These are the dream colleges that students dream about, apart from the IIMs. Okay? The next one is again very typical. It's National Institute of Industrial Engineering, which is basically otherwise known as NITIE. Okay, NITIE. Okay. Now NITIE, one of the peculiar things about NITIE is its sectional minimum requirement itself is quite high. Okay, if you notice, most of the IIMs or other colleges say that I need a 80 percentile sectional cutoff or a 85 percentile sectional cutoff. This is one institute which says their sectional cutoff itself should be around 90 or 92, if I remember it correctly. Okay, the sectional cutoff will be itself in that range. It's quite high for a sectional cutoff. Okay, none of the IIMs are that high, if I remember it correctly. All right, probably barring 1 or 2 new IIMs, but most of the IIMs are in that 80-85 percentile range only. Okay, now this again is in Mumbai. NITIE is in Mumbai, one of the very good colleges in Mumbai that you can get into. The percentile requirements are like this. In general, again, 98 plus is a minimum for you to get into NITIE. There's no anything less than that, I don't think you'll be getting a chance. You'll be having a chance. And for you to convert, you again need to look at a 98.5 plus, unless your interview goes excellent. I'm talking about above average interviews. You need a 98.5, 98.6 levels. Otherwise, converting is very difficult. Okay. Of course, there are exceptions. People who do excellently in interview and the round 2, they might get a 98.1 conversions also. But again, those are exceptional cases. We are not looking at that. Normally speaking, conversion becomes possible if you are at a 98.5 and a 98.6, 98.7, that range. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. NCOBC. These are the values given over here. 85 percentile, SC, ST 75 plus and 65 plus. So that's how the percentiles are stacked for this particular college, NITIE. Okay. Next is a very peculiar college called JBIMS or Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. Once again, a Mumbai-based college. The acronym is JBIMS. Okay, I'm just trying to write. Okay. Now JBIMS in Mumbai, it's one of the very good colleges. In fact, I'll tell you one surprising fact, and you'll be getting that on the screen. The cutoffs at which students get through CAT, the cutoffs that students get through CAT is higher than even IIM Ahmedabad. Even in fact, IIM Ahmedabad also doesn't come as high as Jamnalal Bajaj. The reason is it has a factor called as a domicile, where it gives preference to the students. First of all, the number of seats are quite less. Okay, it has barely about 136 or 140 seats approximately. Okay, out of which most of the seats are reserved for the students in Maharashtra. Only 18 seats are for students who are outside Maharashtra, right? So students with it, so you can apply to this college in two ways. One is something called as CET. It is MH, Maharashtra's Common Entrance Test, CET. The other way is through CAT. So usually all the non-Maharashtrians who are outside Maharashtra end up writing CAT for this particular, and I would say hardly anybody even applies to that because they know it's impossible, almost next to impossible to get into this, because you will see the percentiles and you'll get you'll be shocked probably. Whereas the others from Maharashtra end up writing MHCET, they obviously write CAT also, but MHCET scores they can apply to depending upon which score is higher for them. But the cutoffs go somewhat like this. Okay, for general category, it's 99.95, crazy. I mean, imagine 99.95, even Ahmedabad doesn't have that level. The reason is very simple. It has only 18 seats marked for non-Maharashtrians, or the domicile quota which is there. They call it as other than Maharashtra students. Okay, so other than Maharashtra students, there are only 18 seats. So 18 seats is probably about 0.03 or 0.04 percentile, right? The top, absolutely top, the top 18-20 ranks. So probably the top 25 ranks will apply to this in CAT. If at all there is a ranking system in CAT, the top 25 rankers will go ahead and apply to this. Others will not even bother because you'll not get it. Okay, even EWS category goes very high for them. NCOBC, if you notice, all of these categories in CAT are very, very high. Now compared to other colleges, it's quite high. Okay, the reason again, as I said, the number of seats are very, very few, because of which the percentile requirements go very high. Okay, so Jamnalal Bajaj, if you are in that 99 point, not even 9, it has to be 99.95, 96 and above. At that level, it makes sense to go ahead and apply. Again, one of the beautiful things about Jamnalal Bajaj, like FMS, is the cost of education is quite low. You probably will end up finishing your 2 years. It does not have a hostel, by the way. You have to, without stay, the cost is about 6 lakhs if I remember correctly. Okay, 6 lakhs for 2 years. That is a tuition fee. So cost of living also, if you take, probably another 4-5 lakhs depending upon where you stay. If you have a relative there, it becomes even more cheaper. If you are staying there, nearby, or if you're paying for a hostel there, something like that, you end up within probably 8 lakhs to 9 lakhs for 2 years. Whereas IIMs will cost you or charge you double of that, and the pay packages here are also at par with the top IIMs. They have a 20-21 lakh average package, so it's comparable to the top IIMs for sure. Whereas the fee is probably half or less than half. Not just the fee plus stay. You'll end up paying less than 40% of your top IIMs. Okay, so that's another good college that you can think of. The next is again the IITs, which have been known for the engineering. They also made a foray, an entry into the IIMs, and they actually did a good job. The best of the IITs, which offer, in fact, the best program is offered by something called as Sailesh J. Mehta School of Management, otherwise known as IIT Bombay. Okay, the MBA college of IIT Bombay, it is within the campus of IIT Bombay. Please don't say it is a different college. It is from IIT Bombay itself, but they call it, the management school that they run is called as SJMSOM. Okay, so that's the acronym, Sailesh J. Mehta School of Management. This happens to be one of the top dozen colleges in the country. Probably it will be at par with an MDI, probably at par with an SPJ, probably even better than MDI in certain aspects. It has got a very small batch size, probably in the range of 120 to 150 if I remember correctly, not more than that. But excellent placements. The advantage that they have is, for IIT Bombay, you know that it's the best for engineering. So a lot of companies obviously go for hiring students there, and by that network they are able to tap into that network and get the best of the companies coming for the management placements also. Okay, so it becomes easy for them. That's one of the reasons why they have been doing really, really good, and their placements happen to be good. And of course the percentile, because of that, the placements are good, the students want to get into there, and this batch size is small. the logical conclusion of that is the percentiles are going to be high. As you can see, the general category goes as high as 99 percentile for males, whereas it is about 97 percentile for the females. Okay, it's not an easy task. Again, it is a top-notch college. It is an IIT, but it's one of the top IITs at par with some of the IIMs, probably better than almost all the new IIMs, all the baby IIMs for sure. It can compete with IIM Indore or Kozhikode or probably a NITIE, any of these colleges. I'll put all of them in the same bucket. Okay, so that's the next college that you can think of. Again, the education is cheaper here because it's an IIT, definitely cheaper than what the IIMs would be charging you. Okay, well, the next thing we're going to talk about is Delhi. Again, once we started talking about IIT, so the best is the IIT Bombay. The next, almost close but slightly lesser than Bombay, is the IIT Delhi. Okay, so IIT Delhi, the cutoffs go somewhat like this. It will be slightly lesser, probably 1 or 2 percentile less than Bombay. In fact, this 97 could go, again, depending upon work experience. It could, without a work experience as a fresher, you might require, or you might get a call at 98. With a work experience, you might end up getting at 97. Again, it all depends upon a little bit on your profile, what kind of work you have done, and they give a high weightage to work experience. So IIT Delhi gives a high weightage to work experience. So if you got about 2.5 years of work experience at 97 percentile, you should be applying to IIT Delhi. There is a very decent chance for you to get a call. Whereas if you're a fresher, 98 plus, I think you'll be giving you a chance. 97 could be very dicey. It might not be possible for you. Okay, once again, before we move ahead, guys, please, a reminder, subscribe to the channel, click on the like button as well as the notification button. We have a lot of sessions coming your way, especially on the GDPI front for this particular year CAT aspirants, as well as CAT 2020. There are a lot of sessions planned on how to prepare for the next 9 months going forward. Right, so this is IIT Delhi. Then we have 2 or 3 more IITs coming away. So the thing about IITs is you have IIT Bombay, which is the top notch in the IITs. Very close, at the next level, very close is your IIT, let's say Delhi. Now the problem is, after Bombay and Delhi, the next IIT is not so close. The next IIT, in my opinion, would be IIT Madras, and then comes your IIT Kharagpur. Almost close will be Kanpur, and then Roorkee, and so on and so forth. So there is a big gap between the top 2 IITs and the rest of the IITs. Okay, so if you look at IIM, Indore, Kozhikode, there's not that much of a difference between Lucknow and Indore. Yes, there's a difference, but again, it's not that wide. You know, you can definitely say ABC are in the top, then there comes a Lucknow, then there comes a Indore and Kozhikode, which are slightly less, but not that less. But here the difference is, quite visible. Okay, if you look at the average percentiles, if you look at the profile of the batch, if you look at the average pay in the batch, you would start seeing that from Madras onwards, the averages will go down significantly. Okay, whereas IIT Bombay, Delhi will be in that 20 lakh, 19 lakh, 18 lakh averages. Bombay will probably be in the 20 lakh, and Delhi will probably be in the 18, 19 lakhs averages. Probably more than that also, now that the latest figures will be out. But yeah, Madras will not be at that range. Probably Madras will be in the 13, 14 lakhs range, and Kharagpur and others will be actually a little bit lesser than that. Okay, so once again, we'll have to wait and see what happens in 2021. It is turning out to be a decent year for many of the colleges and the placements. So let's wait and see what happens, how the numbers will pick up. But yeah, that's about IIT Delhi, and the next one is IIT Madras, as I said. And you can the logic that I gave is visible in the percentile requirement also. So when we saw Bombay and Delhi at a 98 and a 99 percentile requirements, IIT Madras will come down to a 95 percentile. So there is a 4 percentile or a 5 percentile, or not 5, 4 to 3 percentile difference, which is quite huge for students who are at 95 to a 98 or a 99. Okay, or a 97 for that matter. 97, as I said, work experience guys will only get. Madras 95, it could go down also this year, depending upon the number of students who actually wrote CAT. This year it could go down a little bit to a 94 also, but yeah, it hovers around 94 to 95. You can put it across. That's the percentile requirement. Okay, similarly, EWS category and NCOBC in this college more or less turn out to be the same percentile requirement, and SC and ST requirements are given over here. These are the actual cutoffs, which is not published on the website, but this is what we observe, where the students actually get a call from the institute. Okay, the next one is IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur again being a bit lesser than your Madras. You can see that IIT Kharagpur will be 1 or 2 percentile behind your Madras. 94 percentile is where it gets slightly lesser than that. But again, Madras, Kharagpur close to each other. I'd probably put Madras a little bit higher than Kharagpur. Below that comes your Kanpur and Roorkee, which is there in the next slide. But right now we're going to look at a 94 percentile requirement for your IIT Kharagpur, which is probably about a little less than half a rank less than your Madras, half or one rank less than your Madras. Last two in IITs are Kanpur and Roorkee. So that finishes the list of IITs. I'm not taking the other IITs. These are at least worth considering because they take students who are up to 90 percentile. Okay. There are again, there are a lot of IITs which take students at less than 90 also, which I'm not going to get into because that's not the purpose of the video. Here I mentioned we are going to only restrict ourselves to CAT percentiles above 90 and non-IIMs. Okay. So we have IIT Roorkee and Kanpur, very similar cutoffs. Probably 0.3, 0.4 percentile here and there, but broadly speaking, they have the similar kind of cutoff. So you're looking at a 91. It could go less also this year. I'm expecting it to go to 90 or probably 89, ending of 89 also. It is possible very much. You have EWS category, NC, OBC, SC and ST are actually same, more or less in these colleges, and we don't have too much of information also. Frankly, I could not get too much of information about the SC, ST cutoffs. 65 to 55 range is what I'm expecting the cutoffs to be. But yeah, the general cutoffs go up to 90 percentile for Kanpur as well as Roorkee. Again, are they good colleges? It all depends upon how much did you prepare? Are you capable of getting more than that? And more importantly, how much do you hate your job right now? Okay, can you bear one more year for one more shot? So many of the students ask me, sir, is this a good college? So guys, good college is a very open-ended question. What do you mean by a good college? I keep saying this, a college is good or bad depending upon your profile and given how urgent is it for you to do an MBA. So please, when you're asking me this question of good profile, please, good college, please first tell me what is your urgency in doing an MBA? What is are you satisfied with your MBA score, your CAT percentile in the first place? Some students used to get 99, 98 percentile in CAT in the mocks. Suddenly they end up getting only a 93 or a 94 percentile in their actual CAT. But consistently they have been getting 98 or 99 in their mocks, which means their potential is there. Somehow they messed up their CAT this year. So can they repeat or not? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Okay, so it's not whether the college is good or bad, it's are you capable of getting into that? Did you prove to yourself in the mocks that you are capable of getting a particular percentile? If yes, then is it worth the wait? Again, yes is just not the answer. Yes, you are capable, but are you willing to wait? Again, work experience plays a role. If you're already having 3.5 years or 4 years of work experience, another year of wait is actually a bit too much. So probably you might either have to go for a 1 year executive course next year, or you might have to settle for the best option that is available today. So a lot of factors come into play when you're dealing with which colleges to apply to, or is a college good enough for me? Okay. So if you want such questions to be answered, please put it in the comments. We will respond to you in the comment section itself. Next, a couple of colleges that I have is, one college that I have is IMI New Delhi. So this IMI New Delhi, again, as you can see, it is in New Delhi. It is International Management Institute, and the cutoffs for this, again, it's a decent college. The cutoffs for this go up to 88 percentile. It used to be up to 90 percentile sometime back. In the last 1 or 2 years, they started taking a low, slightly lesser percentile. That is one of the reasons why I put IMI, although I said 90 percentile and above only I'll be talking about. But I would put this college at par with those borderlining 90 percentile colleges. And at one point in time, it used to be at that level. I'm not saying the college has gone bad. It's just that because the percentage of the students writing or the number of students writing, that's what the percentile ultimately matters, right? That's what it depends on. So it has gone down from a 90 percentile requirement to probably an 88, late 88. So it's not 88.1 or 2. You're talking about 88.8 or 88.9. So it has come to that level right now. But the college has not gone down. I'm not saying that the college has gone down. It's just that the requirement has gone down a little. Okay. And the last is IMT Ghaziabad. Again, I'm not saying that IMI is better than IMT Ghaziabad or vice versa. In fact, I would probably rate IMT Ghaziabad a step higher than IMI only. Just that the slides, IMI came first and IMT Ghaziabad is coming next. Okay. So anyway, so IMT Ghaziabad, again you are looking at a 90 to 93 percentile. Again, one proxy to which college is better relatively is the percentile, right? If a college says that I can't take you less than 98 percentile, it means it has got the stature to say that look, only 98 and above apply. If nobody is applying to me, I can't say that I'll take 98, I'll take whoever comes to me. So a proxy to the goodness of the college that way. How good is a college relatively to, or if you want to compare, one way of looking at it, of course, placements and all, they are there. One way to look at that is look at the percentiles. On the last 2-3 years, on an average, what percentile students are getting in. That will give you a good proxy to the level of a particular college. Okay. So you're talking about 90 to 93 percentile. Again, there's a huge range. If I don't know how many of you know this, the range is quite high because one point in time they used to have 800 seats. Huge number of students. It used to be like a mela there, you know, like a you go there and you find tons and tons of people. Now, for over the last 2 years or 3 years, I don't remember exactly when, they cut down the batch size from 800 to 500. Okay, I think it was because it was getting a bit difficult to place 800 students at a decent placements, or whatever may be the reason. Usually placement is the reason, but yeah, they brought down the batch size from 800 to around 500. Okay, so now it's a decent batch size, but still it is one of the higher batch sizes compared to all the IIMs. I don't think there's any IIM except IIM Indore which has more than 500 batch size, but IIM Indore also, through CAT, it takes only about 420 or so students. They have 110 of the IPM students who join in, so it will add up to more than 500, but technically speaking, through CAT, even Indore takes only about 450 students. But that way, IMT Ghaziabad happens to be the highest batch intake in the category of colleges in above 90 percentile intakes. Okay. Well guys, so that's all that is in store for you today. These are the list of colleges that you can apply to if you have above 90 percentile in CAT. And please subscribe and like us or follow us on these particular channels. And while you are taking this, I'll be looking at your answers. Somebody, Gopal Krishna, says I am CAT score in OC candidate. Which college I am choosing? 50%. Okay, Gopal, for the percentiles which are less than 90, we had a separate video done, my friend. Please refer to that. There are a ton of colleges that are mentioned at the percentile that you spoke about. The entire list was given in the video. Please make sure that you check out that other video. Okay. Again, Soumya Rajan, I am saying, when you ask me, is a college good? Friends, please understand. A college is good or bad depending upon your background. If you are a person who cannot get 40 percentile, then any college is good. If you are a person who can get 99 percentile, probably even some of the IIMs, new IIMs or baby IIMs are not good enough for you. So you have to give me your background before you ask me, is the college good for me? But yes, XIB is a decent university, XIM, sorry. It is worth considering. Again, it depends on what is your profile. Now, I don't know who you are, what is your profile, what score are you capable of getting. So it's very difficult for me to say, yes, it's a good college for you or a bad college for you. I hope you get the logic. Okay, fine guys, thank you and see you in the next session of mine. All the best. The live feed has to stop.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Just go to the computer once again. I'll just tell you what to do.
Okay.
I've already